Hey, this is Anthony with RevZilla TV, and welcome to our detailed breakdown of the brand new Arai Signet-Q touring helmet. Now, if we look at the Arai Signet-Q as it falls within the range of helmets from Arai, it's going to be the stepbrother of the RX-Q. What they've basically done is listen to the riding community, and they brought the Signet fit back into a lot of the features that we saw first introduced in 2010 for the RX-Q. Now, if we remember, this helmet is going to sit just below the Corsair 5, which is the most exotic track-specific helmet. But this helmet's actually designed for upright and three-quarter, more long-distance touring riding to a range of different head shapes. The Signet-Q specifically is the longest oval fit in the Arai lineup. We lost the original Signet in around 2004, 2005. And there's definitely a riding community out there of folks that have a very long profile head from front to back, being thinner side to side. This helmet is going to suit them perfectly. It's actually even longer and more pronounced than the Arai Profile. If we look at it from front to back, you're going to notice it looks exactly like the RX-Q. Venting configuration on the front, on the top, the shield structure, it's using the SAI Shield, but it's the extra 5 millimeters front to back, which make it that extreme long oval that's going to be even longer than that profile that, again, fits that person with that longer front to back head shape. Now, if we look at the outside, let's start walking through some of the features here. You're going to start with a Snell 2010 helmet that's also DOT. It's going to use the Super C shell construction, which is their one step below the Corsair 5. The Super CLC uses, it's primarily fiberglass and resins, but it's a big step up over something that the Vector is going to use, which is typically a little bit more heavy but offers a similar amount of protection. So you're right in the mid-range with your Hell construction for Arai. And when I say that, you compare the safety rating and the components built on an Arai to a lot of other brands out there, and they're leaps and bounds way ahead. But really, in the Arai lineup, what you need to know is that this shell is their second in command behind the shell they're using on the Corsair 5. If we look at it starting from front and moving our way back, we're going to start with chin vent that has 3 positions. It has closed, open to the face, as well as venting to the shield. As we move to the top of the helmet, walking through the vents, similar chimney vents as we saw on the RX-Q. Open and closed, they go to 10 millimeter holes in the channel, in the EPS, that are going to vent directly to the head. And then as we move to the back, you're going to notice our Venturi vents that are open and closable, that are going to allow airflow to be really sucked out of the back of the helmet as high-speed air comes over the helmet and creates that vacuum behind it. We also have some Venturi winglets that serve 2 purposes. The first is going to be an exhaust port to allow hot air to escape the helmet, but also in this upright riding position, or the three-quarter, they're going to be stabilized to keep the helmet stable at speed. So it's aerodynamic as well as functional. The other nice part about this helmet that we've seen on the RX-Q and some of the other high-end Arais is you have 2 brow vents that actually vent into these channels that go around the temporal artery down the back of the ear, and then that warm air actually exhausts out the winglet. So what it's going to do is, it's going to areas of your head that are going to get very hot, that have high blood flow close to the surface, you have the ability to cool them. Now I'm going to jump into the shield, and the shield is one of the key differences here on the Signet-Q. The first thing you're going to realize is this is an Arai SAI Shield, but it's the first time here in the States that we're seeing the Pinlock visor system, built in. Arai Japan teamed up with Pinlock, and Pinlock has become Kleenex of the motorcycle world with the fog-free shield. They really invented this technology, and what it does, and you can see it here on the graphic version I have, is that we have the Pinlock shield. It's a lens that sits in and creates a window pane effect. So what you have is there are a lot of shields out there that have a chemical coating that are going to combat fogging, and that wears off over time. What you have with the Pinlock system is you create a small pane of air inside the shield that through physics does not allow the air to condense on the shield because you have this double pane construction. So Arai Japan teamed up with Pinlock out of the Netherlands. It's been around in Europe. People have asked for it. This is the first time we're seeing it in the States. And the nice part about it is you can see the shape of it. It works with the brow vent system. It's OEM co-designed. So Arai and Pinlock came together, and Arai managed to keep all the same features that we're used to seeing in the new SAI face shield, but now it's Pinlock ready. And I'm going to show you really quickly how easy it is to change. So as I pull off my shield here, you're going to see the Pinlock insert on the front. The nice part is you have your 2 posts that actually have a screw on the end, a Phillips screw. If you come in really tightly, you can see that. And what that is there are 2 settings. There's a setting that allows you to change the lens more easily, and what it does is if you turn it 180 degrees, you actually can lock in the pin lock. And let me show you what I have this amber colored one. Pull this bad boy out. But here's your pin lock system. It does have a chemical coating to actually aid in any ancillary fogging that might go on. But the real key to this is that you have this window pane effect that's going to allow it to trap that small layer of air that's going to do a great job of keeping this helmet from fogging in conditions that would normally be really tough to ride in without your shield cracked. Notice I have the pin lock out. Every Signet-Q in the box is going to come with a clear pin lock lens and the shield that's going to be pin lock ready. So you see on the inside I have the shield removed. You can see it. It's also Pinlock Max Vision, which means top to bottom you're getting the full coverage. My favorite thing about this though is even within the realm of the pin lock, you still have your brow vents. You're not giving anything up. You're just gaining that extra level of functionality. Now this is the SAI Shield that'll work with the RX-Q, it'll work with the Corsair 5, it'll work with the Vector 2. It's the new version face shield from Arai. When they first introduced this in the Corsair 5 and RX-Q, they've added 5 millimeters of periphery on both sides, so you're getting a whole extra centimeter, you know, of peripheral view or on the total viewport that you didn't have even a few years ago. So again, it's a totally upgraded design. It's also UVA and UVB resistant here from Arai. The other thing I want to talk about while I'm on the shield, I'm going to show you on this sapphire blue one that I still have installed, is that we saw it in the RX-Q, but you basically have these shield pucks. And this shield puck, what that allows you to do is it allows you to have this puck style slider that when you open the shield, it's going to keep the shield away from the paint. It's not going to scratch the helmet. And then when it comes down, it actually slides, and it allows Arai to have a tighter fitting shield that's going to create a more solid connection with the gasket that goes around the eye port. So when you're in inclement weather, when it's cold out, it's going to give you that better than average seal that you see some different manufacturers use a spring-loaded factor. Some use other different mechanisms. When you start introducing a lot of almost bolt-on parts, you introduce things that could break over time. Arai has custom fitted the way that this SAI Shield is going to fit to be perfect when it's in the down position, but they knew that they had to add these pucks or these sliders to go up to make sure you had enough clearance to move the shield. As you can see here too, you can see I spoke about the brow vents, and then we also have a removable diffuser in there as well. Other key differences. So we've talked about the shield being different. We've talked about the fit being long front to back, an extra 5 millimeters, the longest fit in the Arai lineup. The other neat thing that Arai has introduced in the Signet-Q, which is really, it's a quiet feature. They started with the same aerodynamic profile, albeit slightly longer, as you had in the RX-Q. And what they found is so much of the quiet factor with a helmet like this in the upright position is based on the seal that you get under your jawline, underneath the helmet. A lot of times, even wearing a different collar on a motorcycle can give you a different level of noise at speed. So what Arai has done is they've designed the new facial contour system, which is going to be built into the new Signet Cheekpad. This is the first time we're seeing this style cheekpad from Arai. I would imagine we're going to start to see this style of cheekpad permeate a lot of the other models going forward. But what the FCS, or facial contour system, does within the new Signet-Q cheekpad is it changes the density and gives you better coverage around the jawline. So I pulled, this is from one of our Signet-Qs here. I'm going to pull it out. I'm going to unwrap the cheekpad. And just like many of the other new Arais, you do have your 5 millimeters of foam pad that's die cut, that's easily removable, so you can adjust the fit on the fly. It allows you to change a cheek pad size without buying new cheek pads. But the nice part here is I want to show really quickly, I want to show this little piece of gray, higher density foam. And what that allows is that we have further coverage down underneath the jawline, underneath the cheek. And then with this extra piece of foam, you're going to get a better seal. And even when this cheek pad breaks in, it's not going to break down. You're still going to, in the right areas that are going to need that constant pressure to have a good seal with your jawline, you're still going to have that based on the new shape, as well as the injection of this new piece of, it's almost a foam wedge that's in there, and you can see it, it's covered as you move down, but it's going to give you a different type of connection with your face between the interface with the cheek pad. And just for reference, I pulled an RX-Q cheek pad, and I want to show you the difference here. And you can see on the RX-Q cheek pad that it's different. It's a lower density foam, where it's a higher on the RX-Q, as it's a higher density on the Signet-Q if I do this side by side. And when I show them like this, you can see that it is a longer profile, so you're going to see a longer cheek pad, but even side to side, you can see the Signet-Q is using a different profile cheek pad. It's just one of those nuances. I always say with any of these motorcycle products, it's the last 10% that makes these really make or break. It's the nuance of the functionality as you need it to perform over longer, more strenuous riding conditions and distances that are going to allow it to do its job. You're not going to have hot spots. The helmet will perform. It will be quiet enough. What you want is a piece of protective equipment that's not distracting in any way. It allows you to stay focused. It's a more enjoyable ride, but it's also a safer ride. So I'm going to bring over my donut here. I'm going to start to work my way into the interior. As you see, we still have a hyper ridge on this helmet. The Signet-Q is using the hyper ridge technology that we've seen in all of the high-end Arai helmets. What it does is the hyper ridge is two purposes. It allows the exterior shell of the helmet to create a ridge that's going to potentially bounce back energy in an impact. This ridge will bounce some of the energy back versus allowing it to escape off the edge and potentially be transferred to your body. It's also going to give Arai the ability to potentially give an easier opening at the end. It allows you to have more of a flare versus an encapsulated opening for easy on and off. As we move into the Signet-Q, retractable chin spoiler, just a nice nuance, a nice touch. Notice the diffuser in the back that is vented. We're going to have air that comes down through the EPS channel that will flow out the back. I'm going to remove the cheek pads and we'll break this bad boy down, start working through the comfort liner. It is a new style comfort liner specific to the RX-Q. So here's cheek pad number one. I'm going to reach in, and my neck roll, as usual, is removable. Cheek pad number two. Here's my neck roll. I'm actually going to leave it in for a second here. Pull out the comfort liner. So with the new style comfort liner for the Signet-Q, you're going to see that we have our reinforcement away from areas that it would give you hot spots. It's a 4-snap design, 2 at the back of the neck, 2 close to the forehead. My favorite thing about it is we saw this technology actually first emerge on the Vector 2's comfort liner, is where we have, again, just like the cheek pad, a 5mm removable zone that allows you to slightly modify the fit or really tune it for your head. So on each side, we're going to have this 5mm foam panel that's glued on that you could remove, and once you remove it, you're actually tuning the fit of this helmet to be a bit closer to that of the Profile. So you're giving yourself some additional width in the sides, where stock out of the box, it's going to be extreme long and narrow. And as we can see, this is all Cool Max. It's wicking, it's easily washable, it's antimicrobial, it's easily maintainable. I always say, especially on the hottest days, you pull over, hit a gas station, run it under some cold water. You can either let it dry, throw it back in the helmet wet, but again, it's easy to maintain these helmets. They make them durable enough so that the materials will really perform at a high level, but also do their job in keeping you cool. So now that I have the cheek pads out, I'm going to fully remove the rest of this comfort liner. Pull this bad boy over here. I want to show you the guts. I want to show you what the EPS looks like with the 10mm vent holes, where they're going to come in. As you can see, 4 main vents, 2 in the front, 2 in the back, not counting the different winglets and some of the other diffusers that sit down along the bottom of the helmet. You're also having, it also is going to, like all Arai helmets at this level, using that free flow system, which is going to be designed in a manner that's going to create a vacuum to pull warm, hot breath out from around your mouth when you're at speed. Remember, again, optimized for 3/4 or upright riding. Really, I hate to call this helmet a touring helmet because it almost pigeonholes it. I'd much rather say this is a high-end helmet that's going to be really a universal helmet that'll do a lot of different things well. This helmet is still extremely aerodynamic. I mean, if you really want to stretch, it's not the most ideal suited for track day riding, but you could even take it to the track. As far as the protection spec, it's that very high-end Arai level of protection. So you remember, from Arai, as you're going up in price point, what you're doing is you're getting some more exotic materials that allow them to hit their safety spec, but give you a little bit of weight savings for potentially better balance, more comfort, more long-distance wearability. So you start with the Vector, the RX-Q and the Signet-Q are going to play in the same playing field, and then from there you go into that that Corsair 5, which is just very specific, application specific on the Corsair 5. The XT3 again for that dual sport type riding or something along those lines. So from here, if you have any questions about the Signet-Q, where it falls within our lineup, how to know if it's specifically right for you, you have to make sure you reach out to us. We can get you almost all of the way there through a video like this, which really talks about some of the key nuances and differences. But if you do have any questions, shoot us a line. See us at RevZilla.com, 877-792-9455. The video should help you watch, decide, then ride, but really use our product experts is what they're there for. As always, this helmet is going to ship for free. It's over $39. We'll exchange it for free if you get the wrong size. If you just don't like it, send it back in brand new condition with the tag still on, and we will happily give you 100% back to your credit card. No restock fees here at RevZilla.com. And you can also earn TeamZilla cash to be applied to your next order because it's over $100. It's our way of saving you some money in the long run. So once again, this is the brand new Arai Signet-Q long oval signet shape. Remember that it's a long oval fit. Available at RevZilla.com/Arai-helmets. We'll see you next time on RevZilla TV.